And welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Aesop Grimm, and we're playing the continuation, or we're continuing with my blind playthrough of RDR2 in 2025. And I'm in my summer outfit here because it's warm, evidently. I discovered this a couple episodes ago. And we'll stick with that until the season changes. Today we're going to knock out the second, so 2 of 2 collection missions for Leopold Strauss. And if we have time, we'll hit up Sean here for the next quest. So let's open up the map. And actually, this might dovetail well into Dutch's quest because he's right here. So let's go ahead. Gwen Hughes. Now, how are we doing weight-wise? Average, okay.
Morning.
Morning. I need to be going this way, I guess, to leave camp. Yeah, here we go. All right. Let's see, this should be your Friday video, so TGIF. And I hope you all have a great weekend. The next video I'm going to record is going to be another one of those, let's call it an ambient video. It's going to be one of those things where I play cards with the boys at camp, or I head into town and play cards. And I've done one of those already for anybody who's just hopping into the series, but unfortunately something went wrong in the recording process and I didn't get my mic audio. So all it was the game banter, and this time I want to do it with my own commentary in it and see how that works for you guys. Is something that you can kind of we might move it to Fridays, I don't know. It'll kind of be up to the crowd whether there might not be any preference at all, you know. I'm just leaving it open, but the idea is that it's a real just kind of comfortable video that you can have going in the background while you're doing some other things. And the whole thing, there shouldn't be any tension. It's just real relaxing. And that's why I'm calling it ambience, because it's just Arthur living his life, you know. And he's not out here shooting around at people or running a mission or anything like that. It's just normal guy spending some time doing whatever he does with his off time. Oh, right here. The Undertaker.
Still don't look quite right.
Morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
I think I heard of.
Gonna get the hang of this.
Yeah, there's somebody in there. Here he is.
Gwen Hughes? Start picking out a box for yourself if you don't got that money you owe Leopold Strauss.
I don't. I need more time.
Doesn't everybody? That casket for you? Or you want another?
Wait. I can get it for you. But, come with me to the churchyard. And stay close. Hmm?
All right.
Oh, this ain't right. I mean, I'll get you your money, but, well, you'll see.
What ain't right is borrowing money you can't pay back.
I guess you're correct, but, it ain't exactly right, what we're doing.
You ain't the first to put his hand in the collection box, and you won't be the last. Rests a little easier knowing church has been taking more than they need off poor folks since time began.
Well, like I said, well, the morality of the matter is a little more confusing than that.
Okay. You head on in the church, I'll keep watch.
Well, it ain't in there. It's under here. I'm digging up Mrs. Claypole.
Jesus!
Well, she got a bunch of jewels in there that she don't need.
Huh.
Oh, damn it. There's a bunch of people here. Oh, I got it. Look, you clear them off, and I'll wait right around here. But don't hurt nobody. We don't want no fuss.
Don't be shy, ain't no one around.
Just my auntie.
Your auntie's long.
You two might want to find somewhere a little more private.
We was fine until you got here, mister. Good day now.
Get out of here, kids. Move!
Come on! I knew we shouldn't have been here.
You missed your chance, boy!
Ma'am, would you mind clearing out of here for some maintenance work?
Oh, gladly. It's about time this place got cleaned up.
All right. So Arthur was ready to rob this church, but he balked a little bit at digging up a body, huh?
It's all clear.
All right. Now go watch the gate. I'll get to this exhumation.
Stand guard and stop townsfolk from entering the churchyard. All right. Here comes one right now.
Hello there,
I'm
sir.
sorry, ma'am. The church grounds are closed for maintenance work.
Well, it's about time, too. The place was in need of some care and attention.
Ain't nothing doing in this town, that's for sure. There's them that's born to it, there's everyone else. That's how it is. Things was done on merit, you and me'd be running things. Sure would. Yep.
Hey, look, we're closed for some excavation work. Would you mind?
No, I ain't gonna mind you at all. You carry on with your business, we'll carry on with ours. This fella, oh, damn choir boy.
Get the hell out of this churchyard. Are you boys gonna need yourselves a preacher?
You hear this fella? I heard him all right. We're gonna lick.
Ouch.
Let's go, mister.
That had to hurt. Shit. Hope this hole's dug.
No, not that.
Here's your payment. Oh, forgive me, Mrs. Claypole.
What you find?
But she had a brooch here. Looks like diamonds.
Well, this'll do. Now get out of here before someone sees you.
Can't believe it's come to this. All right, well, I'm out of here.
You might wanna
More than clear what I owe you.
bury her again. Okay. We've been recording for all of 11 minutes. So let's go ahead and go take a peek in at Dutch. Yeah, you know what? Let's not. That would be the most efficient thing to do. But if I'm gonna pretend like I'm playing, like I'm Arthur, you know, I'm gonna play Arthur like I would see him in a movie or something. I don't think he would hang around, being that he's knocked these two guys out right in front of a church and there's a body that's been dug up there. I think it's time to clear out. Then maybe we'll pretend like some time has passed or something and come back and see Dutch. I don't know. Just we'll see how the episode. Well, we can go talk to Sean.
Come on, girl.
Fine weather for a mighty fine day.
I can scarcely. Yeah, I thought we was all about hospitality in the South.
Okay, so we need to get back to camp then. What are they up to? Oh, it's a chain gang.
You're as useless as a four-card flush. I'm done listening to your bullcrap all day, every day.
They're turning big rocks into little rocks. Oh. Well, let's go take a look.
Whoa, easy. Oh, well, girl.
Well, I guess they took his weapon from him. That's a cardinal sin as a lawman. Anybody looking over prisoners, you can't ever put yourself in a position that you can be disarmed. Supposed to have my Schofield there.
Hey there, girl. Yeah.
Pity my enemies.
All right, well, I don't see her.
Yep.
Sean's mission looks to me like the mission to go rob that old lady, which I wasn't gonna do, but because I don't really know for sure, I wanna go ahead and go check it out.
It's me, Arthur.
You're alive. Good.
Let's go turn in money first.
There he is. The man who saved my hide not once, but twice.
What you want, Micah?
Nothing. Just saying thank you, brother. I can call you brother, can't I?
I think I like you even less when you're friendly.
You're the first person ever told me that.
Them two don't really get along, do they? Like, Arthur's kind of warmed up to everybody else, but he stays pretty frosty with Micah. Alright, so we're gonna open up the ledger, because I think there's still some stuff I can upgrade. Medicine is done. Provisions done. Ammo done. Lodging for everyone is 300. Okay. What's our status? Looks like we're okay across the board. It's 76 degrees outside, so it's warming up. What about my weight status? Okay, good. Probably gonna have to eat again tomorrow, but I think we're good to go for today.
So, what do you think
What do you mean?
about those two families? The rich ones in the big houses.
I don't know.
Go have a look around. See what you can find out. Calmly, I mean.
Sure.
Dutch and I, we both think there's money to be made.
I hope so. I'll see what I can find out.
Alright, that's a main mission. We're gonna handle that probably next episode.
Yeah.
So, tell me, is your people, Jacobites or English lovers, Arthur?
My people were peasants. We had no time for politics.
My dad would say that no politics was politics.
That old world bullshit, it ain't got no place here.
Why? Because there ain't no judgment here. Most folks hate the Negroes, they hate the Redskins, the Jews, even us Irish. You ain't so free of politics.
I hate everyone just the same.
Well, in that case, you're gonna want what I just found for us.
What's that?
I was riding around a couple of days back. I come across this old cabin. A couple of fuckers lazing about outside all liquored up. I didn't think nothing of it. But then I come across this hunter down by the river. And he tells me they're a stick-up crew. Says they hit a train a couple of days back near Emerald Ranch. Nice fella he was, shared a bottle we did. Then I robbed the bastard blind.
You believed him?
No reason not to. If he's right, it'll be a big haul for us. I saw 3 of them, maybe more, but I reckon you and me, we could take them real easy.
All right. What the hell? Let's go check it out.
Them sons of bitches think they're mean. They're about to get a lesson in mean.
You just keep your cool, you hear me?
When are we eating, Mr. Pearson?
I have heard it said. I don't know if this is true or not,
This. Hold.
but I've heard that kind of like, I'm not going to say internationally. I think it would be more appropriate to say in
How far is
Western
this place?
Civ. Well, I'll get to it
Not
later.
too bad. Back up north the stretch, not far from the state line.
All right. So, what were you doing riding around up there anyway?
Sniffing around, looking for a take. I got a long nose for these things. Dutch has always honoured us to get out there and bring in money, ain't he?
And rightly so.
I ain't like some of them others back there, sitting around waiting to be told. I go after it.
I see you sitting around plenty.
I mean, I don't need no coddling like the rest. Dutch knows my value to the cause, as from the moment I met him.
You tried to kill him, if I remember the story right.
And he kept me around, didn't he? He saw something in me. He said as much.
I'm sure. Dutch is good at seeing things in people. And while we're talking about money, you are clear on how this works. We split half, other half goes to the gang. Dutch keeps all our savings hidden in a safe spot outside camp.
Yeah, I know. How many times you have to tell me? What's that box by his tent for then?
Camp funds, supplies, and the like. In fact, you don't know that suggests you clearly ain't put much in it.
I always pay me way, don't you worry. Hey, look out. Watch it.
You're sure you scoped this place out right?
Yes, see? That's why I wanted you along for this. You're still a doubter. I ain't just some dumb kid. I've lived a lifetime of shit already.
And you sure don't keep it bottled up inside.
What about that train job with the oil wagon? Made a good show in there, didn't I?
You got knocked out.
Ah, that's what you choose to remember. We got paid. We got out of there.
Got knocked out in Blackwater, too, didn't you?
Now that was bloody chaos.
Did you get split off with Mac?
Nope, didn't see him. I lost your boys at some point when he was getting out of town.
They caught up with Mac a couple of days after. Davy was finished by the time we got up the mountains. Jenny didn't even make it that far.
Those bounty hunters strung me up, beat me, pulled teeth, burned me feet. I didn't breathe a word about nothing, I swear.
Good.
And it's time folks stopped giving Dutch a hard time about all that Blackwater business, if you ask me. The man's not a fortune teller. You can plan, you can use your head, but you never really know what you're walking into.
Yep. Folks always want to blame someone when things go wrong.
Easy. Hard left coming up. All right, it's going to be off the road up ahead. Morgan, watch it. Egypt. Look out. Up here, Morgan. Easy.
I'm not so sure how much I trust Sean. I don't know what to think of him yet.
Let's leave the horses here and go the rest on foot. Don't want them to hear us coming. Here, I'll deal with them. Let's make sure we keep one of them alive to tell us where they stashed the money.
Hope you know what you're doing.
There's one of them outside. This is good.
It is?
Leave it to me. I'll do the talking. You hang back. Hey there! Whoa!
I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds to get the hell off my property, boy.
Look, don't want no trouble. Just thought you might like to know we passed a big posse of lawmen headed this way. About a dozen of them, coming up east.
What? Where?
Right here.
Oh.
Martha. Rest of them. We got more coming out of the woods. Look out on the right. Still got more inside. Come out with your hands up. Nice and easy. You saw what we did to your pals here. What the hell, Arthur? Who's going to tell us where the money's stashed now, huh? All right. Guess we should give the place a look, see what we can find.
That sucks. Hold on. Let's see if I can load up a God. Arr. Load up an autosave. When he said there's more inside, I thought he meant multiples. I kind of realized right as I started pulling the trigger that that was probably the guy we need to keep alive. Hopefully. Okay. What's the button I use to see what my missions are? Dinosaur, treasure hunter, cigarette, camp item request. Watson's cabin, that might be the elderly crone. Okay, this is what I wanted to make sure about. So we have done the second cash turn-in quest. So we should be able to drop off down here. Go talk to Sean.
Oh, hey, Arthur.
Yeah.
So, tell me, is your people, Jacobites or English lovers, Arthur?
All right, skip.
You just keep your cool, you hear me?
Hold on.
Right, follow me.
I want to make sure I've got my Schofield on me. Oh, shoot, I'm locked out from it. Okay, fine.
How far is this place?
Bit of a ride. Not too bad. Back up north the stretch, not far from the state line.
All right. So, what were you doing riding around up there anyway?
Sniffing around, looking for the take. I got a long nose for these things. Dutch has always honored us to get out there and bring in money, ain't he?
And rightly so.
I ain't like some of them others back there, sitting around waiting to be told. I go after it.
I see you sitting around plenty.
I mean, I don't need no coddling like the rest. Dutch knows my value to the cause, as from the moment I met him.
You tried to kill him, if I remember the story right.
And he kept me around, didn't he? He saw something in me. He said as much.
I'm sure. Dutch is good at seeing things in people. And while we're talking about money, you are clear on how this works? We split half, other half goes to the gang. Dutch keeps all our savings hidden in a safe spot outside camp.
Yeah, I know. How many times do you have to tell me? What's that box by his tent for, then?
Camp funds, supplies, and the like. The fact you don't know that suggests you clearly ain't put much... in it.
I always pay me way, don't you worry. Why are you stopping?
You're sure you scoped this place out right?
Yes, see? That's why I wanted you along for this. You're still a doubter. I ain't just some dumb kid. I've lived a lifetime of shit already.
And you sure don't keep it bottled up inside.
What about that train job with the oil wagon? Made a good show in there, didn't I?
You got knocked out.
Ah, that's what you choose to remember. We got paid. We got out of there.
Got knocked out in Blackwater, too, didn't you?
Now, that was bloody chaos.
Did you get split off with Mac?
Nope, didn't see him. I lost your boys at some point when he was getting out of town.
They caught up with Mac a couple of days after. Davy was finished by the time we got up the mountains. Jenny didn't even make it that far.
Those bounty hunters strung me up, beat me, pulled teeth, burned me feet. I didn't breathe a word about nothing, I swear.
Good.
And it's time folks stopped giving Dutch a hard time about all that Blackwater business, if you ask me. The man's not a fortune teller. You can plan, you can use your head, but you never really know what you're walking into.
Yep. Folks always want to blame someone when things go wrong. How far is it now?
Not too much further.
Better be worth it.
Hey, you need this, Arthur. I don't even know that I'm here to no more. You're out throwing lead with Sadie Adler, helping the law chase down criminals. I'm pulling you back on the rails here.
Is that right? So, what's your plan?
You go up, nice and quiet. I'll give him a bit of patter, catch him off guard, then we take him.
They might have the money hidden somewhere.
I know. And we'll make them tell us where it is. All right, that'll have to wait. We're nearly there. Hard left coming up. All right, it's going to be off the road up ahead. Up here, Morgan. Let's leave the horses here and go the rest on foot. Don't want them to hear us coming. Here, I'll deal with them. Let's make sure we keep one of them alive to tell us where they stashed the money.
Hope you know what you're doing.
See if we can do this the right way this time around. I'm interested to see how this turns out. This, for me, this episode's been real neat. Just kind of seeing, there's a lot of dialogue, you know. That's why I've been quiet.
Look, there's one of them outside. This is good.
It is?
Leave it to me. I'll do the talking. You hang back. Hey there! Oh!
I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds to get the hell off my property, boy.
Look, don't want no trouble. Just thought you might like to know we passed a big posse of lawmen headed this way. About a dozen of them, coming up east.
What? Where?
Right here. Heads up, Arthur. Here come the rest of them. What? They're coming out! We got more coming out at once!
Yeah, that's a shotgun. I don't want the shotgun. I don't have a choice. Huh.
Look at them, they're right! Still got more inside! Come out with your hands up! Nice and easy! You saw what we did to your pals here!
Okay, I give up. Don't shoot. I ain't armed.
Tell us where you stash your money, and we'll let you live.
All right, take it easy. Behind the wall in the bedrooms, if you stick your hand between the gap.
All right, you go grab the money. We'll keep an eye on Sunshine here. You know what? Just get the hell out of here, and don't look back. So,
Shall
here we
inject
are.
cigarettes.
You got some good stuff.
Why don't you
Nice.
see what else you can find, Sean?
He said, stick your hands between the gaps. I thought he said bedroom.
Told you we'd take him, no problem, didn't I?
You did good. Let's see what the pay is first.
Dug this up all by myself. A proper lead.
All right, all right.
You heard him, right? He said the stash was behind a loose board in the bedroom.
Behind the
You find anything yet?
leaf
Don't want
bar.
to overstay our welcome, do we?
The loose bar.
Right.
This is more like it. Good work.
Hey, what about my car? I found a place, didn't I?
All right, here. But don't forget to give the camp its share. Supplies don't appear by magic, you know.
All right, don't need the lecture again. I'll see you back at camp. Never know what folks got stashed. There's gotta be other places out there like this.
You can discover homesteads by exploring the world. There will often be lucrative something or another. Okay, so what I heard when it comes to Western Civ nations is that everybody except white people tribes up. And when I say tribes up, I mean looks out for their best interests, votes with their interests in mind, does not look at the whole, looks instead at just what's good for them. You know, like there's a phrase out there, maybe you've heard it before, capitalism lifts all boats in the harbor. And I think I've heard that phrase applied in a variety of ways, not just with capitalism. That is this thing that I've heard is that is not how most people think. It's only white people who seem to think that way. And the rest of the groups out there are happy to exploit that, but they don't really understand it. They're like, I don't know why you do that, you know? So I don't really know if that's true or not. To me, if you have a nation of people, and I guess this would fit in with the rumor that I've heard. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you. Like, most of my life, I thought of myself as Native American. I don't have a great explanation for you for that, because if you look at my DNA, I'm not majority Native American. I'm not anywhere close to that. All I'm saying is that these are the stories that from my family that I embraced, and there are certain things starting at a very early age that I conditioned myself to think in these terms. That made me not feel like I was part of any one group, right? Because as you can imagine, Native Americans that's a very small group, right? You don't really tend to find a lot, so you don't have a clique. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really important. The reason I'm bringing this up is that it's not important what is or what is not. If we were to, get into my DNA and find out, well, how would you describe me? I'm a mutt like most Americans. I have a whole bunch of stuff in me, right? But when it comes to my own self-identity, how I've thought and what sides I've taken as I've grown up, I have always felt like I was sort of neutral, observing everybody else. But what I'm telling you here is that my thought on a nation is that, and I think in these terms with a lot of stuff, if something is true, it's true at the lower level as well as at the higher level. Okay, so for example, a lot of the things that start a war between two nations are really remarkably similar to the same things that can cause a fist fight between two guys. See, that's a lower level and a higher level. If something really is true, it can apply in both the micro and the macro. So with that thought in mind, my take on what a nation is it's kind of the same as what a neighborhood is. Or I guess let's pare it down. A state is full of a population that over here in America, at least, we elect people to run that state the way that the majority of the people feel it should be run. Okay. And then if you pare that down even further, you get to a city, right? And every city's got its kind of flavor, which is dictated by the majority. And that majority, depending on what subject you're talking about, it doesn't always cut across ethnic lines. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. You pare it down even further, you have a neighborhood. Well, shoot, I grew up in a neighborhood. Well, I grew up in a number of neighborhoods, but the one that I have in mind, there wasn't a majority of anything. It was in Florida, and this is one of the unique things about Florida is you have a lot of subcultures packed into a tight area. So there wasn't, talking about ethnic lines, there wasn't a majority of Hispanic people, there wasn't a majority of black people, there wasn't a majority of white people. It was kind of pretty evenly distributed. I had on that street, I had a white friend, I had a black friend, and I had a friend that I don't know what he was. He wasn't Hispanic. I think he might have been a blend of Indian and Southeast Asian. It's really hard to say, and I never asked him. It never came up, And then we were right next to a predominantly black neighborhood, we were right next to that. That area was called like that was a whole neighborhood. And then there was my street. My street was the first street of the next neighborhood. And we were right up next to what you would call a predominantly black neighborhood. Right? So how did we... You had rivalries on that street, but if you don't have an ethnic dominance, how does it split up? Well, it's split up based off of who was friends with who and how we thought that the neighborhood should be run. So ideology, basically, right? And you had click 1 and you had click 2. So do you get what I'm saying? Is that, oh look, I'm going the wrong way. Things don't always divide on ethnic lines. I think that's something that we've been socially engineered into. Well, some of it is just human nature, but the social engineering takes human nature and amplifies it into something that's not natural, right? And so this is the thing that I'm getting at, is that if you have a neighborhood of people...
Coming in.
I ain't even gonna ask where you've been.
You're trying to make decisions based on what the whole group thinks. So I realize we're playing a game here, so I may have lost you in the weeds, but I don't feel like I communicated that super well. But the idea is to draw an analogy from something simple to something complex. A nation is a group of people with a shared vision. So to me, it doesn't make sense to think about things in terms of, well, what's going to benefit me and my small, relatively speaking, splinter group, right? The most. I'm thinking in terms of what's going to benefit us the most. And what I'm saying is that the rumor I've heard is that nobody else thinks that way. That is something that's kind of peculiar to white people. And the quote-unquote minority groups. Now, I put the air quotes there because I'm not so sure how minority a lot of these groups are. It's kind of like my neighborhood that I was describing. We're starting to get an awful lot of assorted bag kind of a look, you know? So for how long can someone claim minority status and say I'm oppressed because not because anybody hates me, but because of the nature of being the minority? I'm not sure how much longer that's going to hold up. So, now I don't really remember what got me on this. They were talking. There was some dialogue here that kind of sparked that. Oh yeah, Sean was talking about hatreds towards blacks, hatreds towards Jews, hatreds. There was a third group too. I forget who else he said. And I was like, I don't really know how true that is, because this rumor I've heard says that there's really only one group of people that thinks in these kinds of terms. And everybody else is just out for themselves. That's how they vote. That's how they think as far as any opportunities that they can exploit. If it benefits their group, then they're going to go with it. That's what makes sense, right? They're not trying to be hateful, and they're not being supremacist. I think that you can draw a line between racist and supremacist. A racist hates a certain ethnicity, right? Or maybe a group of ethnicities that is not their own. And a supremacist doesn't really hate anybody. They're just more about amplifying their own group. I don't know if I'm right on that. If anybody can make an argument, I'm willing to listen. But that's what it looks like to me. Now let's give item. So, like I was saying whenever I first started talking about this, and then I stopped because Sean had a lot of dialogue, I don't really know. I'm just passing on. This was something I heard somewhere. I don't even remember where I heard it. It was some kind of some podcast I was listening to. You know, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't really know that that's true or not, but that's what I heard. was that minorities think one way. They're not really sure why, I guess white people as the majority think another way. And whenever I look back at history, that's not how people thought. Do I have enough? I do not. You go back into medieval Europe and Germans are thinking about Germans, and Dutch are thinking about Dutch, French are thinking about French. Right? So it's not, there's this, well, that's the ethnicity thing. Like Africa, you know, whenever you say black people, you just mean in general black people. There's a whole bunch of shades of black people, right? From Creole to midnight black, you know, darkness as oh, what was that guy's name? Not Arsenio. I can't believe I forgot. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has a whole skit how he and his brother used to be called Darkness by this famous singer. I can't remember the singer's name now because they were so black, right? So you have a spectrum there. And those people, if they are able to trace their lineage, there's a whole slew of countries in Africa. We don't tend to think about that in terms of what nation are you from. And I guess it's the same thing with white people. You don't really think, well, you're Irish American or you're German American. People just kind of generalize it because they're looking at things ethnically. I don't know. The whole thing is real fascinating to me about how people think and what kind of conclusions that leads to. Let's see, we're at 52 minutes. I want to go hunting. Uh-oh.
You smell. It's cologne.
Oh, no.
It's liquor. It's cologne from Cologne, Germany.
Huh.
Oh, I just had a few nips, Arthur. I'm not drunk. I'm just happy. You know, you ought to try sometime.
Drinking?
Happiness. Try happiness. Just a little. Huh?
Great, Uncle. Take care. All right, so yeah, what Sean was talking about there just kind of sparked that thought in me, and I think that's an interesting thought. I don't, you know, again, I don't know that it's true or not. I'd have to ask a bunch of people try to get a good sample size. But on surface level, it seems like there's at least some truth to it. So, I don't know. Real interesting. And in my opinion, the most racist people out there are the ones who think in terms of race all the time. And that spreads, that runs the gamut.
So, Arthur,
There's not any
is it
one.
true about the bad luck?
What bad luck?
I just broke my pocket mirror, and I remember me old ma saying that a broken mirror means 7 years bad luck.
Yeah.
7 years? We won't see 7 years out. Don't be ridiculous. But if I find a mirror on my adventures, I'll bring it back for you.
Okay.
Thank you, Arthur.
You can go away now. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the people who think in terms of ethnicity are the most racist or supremacist group out there. And the way that I've seen it most often, and I'm not saying this is true either, this has just been what I've noted. It may not be true, is that when it comes to minorities, they're very supremacist. Because a lot of minorities are now a lot aren't. Let's leave room for individuals. So that's what we're trying to aim for. That's my opinion. Everybody should be an individual, and in a country like this, if we could get, it's a problem with trust. If we could get a level of trust going.
Arthur, it is good to see you.
You okay, Marybeth?
Just great, but I nearly got killed back in town. They caught me robbing from a store, and I ran for my life.
You weren't followed here.
Arthur Morgan, of course not. Who do you think you're speaking to?
Good girl.
All right, can we eat? Yeah, we should probably go ahead and eat. So I think that that's thinking in terms of supremacists. They don't really hate any other people. They're just in a defensive mindset that they have to look out for themselves because nobody else will. Right? That to me is the general minority view. Then you have, as far as I can tell, a lot of white people, mostly liberal from what I've seen, who they view everything as being through some kind of racial lens. And these are the kinds of people that we've got videos of them going out and asking people, young people usually, do you think voter ID is racist? And they're like, oh, yeah, for sure. And you start asking them why, and you drill down into a little bit, and they come, it turns out being something along the lines of, because black people can't use computers. What? Yeah, they're too dumb. Whoa! You know, like, you're the racist, right? So that's what I see there. Is there's a large group of people on the liberal side that view everything through a racial lens. And I think more often than not, when you drill down into it, you find out it's because they have low expectations of minorities. And this is where you get that white savior complex. So anyway, I kind of dragged us into some heavy territory. I didn't really mean to do that, but when Sean brought that up, it just sort of sparked that thought in my mind about is that really true? You know, I mean, because I noticed he mentioned everybody except for white people, right? He said you hate the blacks, you hate the Jews, and there was a third group. Maybe it was Indians, right? Well, okay. Well, what about them? Do they hate white people? Yeah, but that's justified. Oh, that's kind of what I heard a little bit, and kind of whoever wrote that dialogue, right? So I was like, I don't really know if that's accurate. So let's hit story and hit save. And we'll save over this one here. And that's it for the Friday. I send you in the weekend with that thought. It's a little bit of a heavy-handed thought. And then Monday we'll have kind of a kickback, relaxed episode. So again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I'll see you in the next episode where this story continues.